What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is Crisis169 coming to you with another live stream. Power of Spectrum Internet. Baby. Now let's get on to it now. Ow. Woo! We'll get on to it now. Yeah, baby. Um, Today is 11:08 p.m. It is Monday. Still Monday, by the way. We'll go ahead and check stuff here real quick. I think go there. Bring up snare a little bit more. Okay, today's video is going to be about something that's been going on for a while. Oh no, Xbox done making hardware. Say it ain't so. Or is it? Let's really talk about this. Clear the air. What am I talking about? Well, the rumors going that Xbox is getting out of the console business. People have made a bunch of claims saying that Microsoft is getting out of the console game business. Oh my God, terrible news. What the hell are we going to do? Oh my God, burn down, go ahead and burn our Xboxes and riot in the streets, right? Um, Go ahead and riot in the streets. Pretty much what people are saying. If you talk to the Angry Joe, talk to people like that who are level-headed, they're not the thinking. If you talk to Dreamcast guy, he's kind of hinting that he's thinking it may be. But every YouTuber has their little clicks they use, stuff like that. I get it. It's click. There are all these guys who make this kind of stuff up, but hear stuff like this from sources who have been right about a lot of things, are making money off of YouTube or have Patreon or both. Me, I have a full-time job, 20 years in. Okay, so I have a full-time gig. I don't, need. Now, granted, I wouldn't mind having 1,000 plus subs where I can make a little extra money on the side. That wouldn't be a problem with me. I'd be all right. But that's not something that I worry about because I don't need to. Okay. So that being said, though, is there any truth to this? Well, certain people heard certain things, and I'm on a website called Kahuna. All right, Kotaku. Xbox still swears it's not giving up on console as fans morale creators, and understandable. Look at the cost of the console. Look at the cost of these issues. So one guy said, "Thing that I've noticed, X Series seems nowhere to be seen at most big stores. Area that carry its S makes think that maybe they're getting ready to roll out a new Series X refresh." I think what happened was that somebody, maybe about a week ago, read off a post that some leaker talked about Microsoft getting out of the console business or looking at the console business or something like that. Taken out of contents. Taken out of context once again what Microsoft's saying. Because if it was a rumor that had any bias to it, Microsoft really wouldn't think the answer about it. But this one was big. Microsoft said no, we're revisiting our structure. You have to understand, guys. Why did Microsoft get in the console business in the first place? They're a Windows operating system. Microsoft is not a game system. And I know I watched a video from a person who I respect a lot, Adam Kurek, who pretty much inspired me. I think MJ Trollbird was his inspiring factor. Adam is my inspiring factor, even though I'm older than him by about 7 years older than he is. He inspired me to do the whole YouTube channel thing. Cause he sits in the camera and talks behind the camera like I'm doing, but he has pictures that he shows. Pictures kind of cool. He shows pictures and stuff. But he traveled all over the world. I travel to work and home. in case you want to point B and C or D and E. But he inspired me. He was very level-headed. He and I knew why Microsoft both got into the console business. It wasn't because they want to make consoles dump a bunch of money into a dead dying ship or a dead dying situation. I knew why Microsoft got into the console business a long time ago because it was kind of well-known knowledge. If you're in the know PC stuff like I was back in the day, you knew that PC gaming was kind of coming under, going under the radar. It was kind of becoming, yeah, PC gaming's not as great, more of a fad. He even said this too as well. Adam Pierce said the same thing I was thinking. That it was more of a fad issue. And Microsoft had Windows. Now, if you pull up um, Windows users, versus others, and you'll see I'm at a counter here. I'm at a counter right here, and it shows Windows 8, XP, Windows 8, 7, and 10, and Windows 11. Now it doesn't show. Well, it shows operating system different ones here, but it doesn't really show you, multiple ones. You know, other ones when you're trying to figure out what is the biggest market share of Windows compared to. Yeah, here it is. And I'm on a Preferred Site Global OS market share 2025. This was established not April, but 2025. It shows Android and Windows are really fighting it out. Operating system Android has a 72.72 share. Windows has a 70% share. iOS has 26 share. Mac has 5. Linux has 4. Chrome OS has 1.1.83. That's probably not a whole lot great going for people who don't care about that. But it's showing the point though. It's proven the point that Microsoft was worried back in 2001 that phones like your Android devices would take over, will be just as powerful as PCs, but they're mostly consoles, game systems. When Sony came in the market and they released the PS2, PS2 was a powerhouse machine. Now, granted, it was more of a DVD player than console because of the explosion from VCDs to DVDs and Tokyo. But also, it shows that you don't have to be named Nintendo to make tons of money. And Sony had a PS1 and they exploded and became popular. PS2. PS3 is probably another 6 years down the road. But Microsoft knew that the consoles were going to get more and more powerful. So that's why they created an Xbox. The Xbox technically had like 50,000 gigabytes or megabytes or what it was. It had a lot of storage for something that, was really. I put games on there all the time that didn't fill up. But I had like 30 or 40 games that didn't fill up at all. Of course, then again, the games were laughable back then compared to nowadays. Those kind of games now are more like indie titles now. Really small, not very big. Now 144 gigabyte install for Black Ops 7 beta, and I'm gonna talk about that at the end of this video here. But that being said, Microsoft was more worried about consoles taking away from the bread and butter, and that is the Windows operating system, PC. PC was going through a change back in 2000. I remember when I was a kid, we used to play games like Oregon Trail in the '80s, Oregon Trail and the Apple II. If you never played it, if you can find it, go for it. It's a great way to play, great game. Oregon Trail is very hard. Oregon Trail taught you, it's the PC is pretty powerful. Now fast forward to the '90s, Macintosh. I played, when we're in computer class, we're playing a Pac-Man, a better version of Pac-Man on the Mac, and in computer class, in computer studies. Back when I was 4, 5, and 6 years old. No, 4, 5, fourth or sixth grade. Sorry, 6 years old. About fourth or sixth grade in elementary and middle school, mostly middle school upward. Computers. We get to high school, it's mostly just about academics and other things you're doing. But other academics and that, but building trades, stuff like that. But because you're preparing yourself for the future when you get out, when you get to high school. But all computer stuff. And when I graduated in 2000, it was about 25 years ago. Computers weren't that much. Now, and I went back to Northeast High School. Now I walked around the school one time because school was doing like an event at school. My church was at the time. We had a little event at school. I just walked around the school, and I went to the old places where we had the construction classes and places for your car and stuff. That's all computer stuff now. Computer certification classes, IT, intro IT program classes. Different, different culture than it was 25 years earlier. Plus, too, my sister graduated in '94. Same thing. The classes though there while I was there with everyone when she was there, and so on and so on. So, culture changes. And how does that fit into the Xbox console and PC and Game Pass? It does a lot because it goes into the situation where what Microsoft wanted out of Xbox brand was a thing to be center of the living room. PlayStation became PS2 became that and dominated with the PS3 even more with the Blu-ray, something that Microsoft didn't have the capability of doing. Now, the Xbox One, they had finally Blu-ray capabilities, but it came at the cost of them sending a check to Sony every time they stole a console or made one. And also, they had certain die or whatever. They had to create certain die for their computer chips on the PlayStation and the Xbox. Use certain die that only certain countries have. One of them is in war with another country. If you know what I'm saying, two countries are at war. One country, invaded another country, and that war been going on for a few years now. And there's a certain chemical or gas that creates a chip that's not made by the planet, has to be manufactured, and that's why the chip shortages are why costs of stuff is going up. Not, of course, not including the tariffs and inflation. And the tariffs are working, with inflation probably not. And different countries have different issues. Some have different issues with pestilence and diseases and famines and natural disasters. So there's earthquakes. There's a lot more than just, oh my God, just tariffs and taxes and that kind of stuff. Inflation. So it's a lot different time it was 25 years ago. So now fast forward at 25 years later, you have a console now called the Xbox that's not doing very well at all. Since the Xbox One reveal by Don Matrick, it totally destroyed the Xbox credibility. The 360 was good. Don came in at the very end of 360. It became a bloated mess of info commercials and stupid Cheeto bags and Dorito bags. Now it's just a waste of time to even look at the Xbox. You feel dirty looking at an Xbox now because it just looks. You look at it like, man, it's a piece of crap. Because in 2013 they wanted to sell television and DRM and other nonsense. They didn't care about a consumer anymore. They went cuckoo for Cocoa Puff, but cuckoo for your dollar, and they wanted you to be part of the living room, but in the wrong way. See, Sony didn't do that. PS2, they didn't force DRM down their throat. They just made the console powerful enough to play DVDs really well, and be a cheaper DVD player. That was something that that you needed to actually play. You needed a DVD player to watch DVD movies. So you know the Blockbuster. You can't know what Blockbuster is, obviously, or Hollywood Video. You understand what it means. Um, went to went to the movie store and rent DVDs. Came home with your PS2 that you can play games on and watch movies on, all for a good price, like like $2.99 or what it was. In most cases, that was a cheap DVD player in town. So Microsoft was really upset. Now their console can play DVDs, but you had to have a little day. You had to literally buy an adapter, plug it in with the controller that came with it, the Xbox adapter, to actually unlock that functionality. Where PlayStation, pop it in, it automatically goes to the DVD mode and plays DVD. On the Xbox, you have to buy an adapter, plug it into the controller one port, press the controller or whatever, and it automatically knows. We had people showing us. I mean, I remember Electronic Boutique and Badges before they were consumed by GameStop, having people from Microsoft there showing us how to turn the thing on, how to pop open the disk drive, and how to plug in the adapter to use the DVD functionality. Woo and ah, right? The black Xbox, the original black Xbox. That was woo and ah. Sears had them showing them. Places, Walmart had people from Microsoft showing them. Probably some no, probably some outside sales agent or whatever selling them Microsoft. But still, unless somebody came from Microsoft and hey, this is what you do with this thing, because it was a brand new system. No one knew how to use it. It wasn't anything out of the ordinary to see something brand new if people didn't know how to do it. No, you ain't gonna poke it with a stick, turn it on. So that being said, though, so why did Microsoft do it? Because they tried to keep the PC relevant. This whole thing is about keeping PC relevant, keeping their main bread and butter, Windows, relevant. Because what happens if the gaming rig goes out of bid, goes out of style? What happens if PS2 came out, PS3 came out earlier and became even more powerful than they thought? People forget about the lonesome PC and the Windows. You remember Game on Windows? Games for Windows. Halo was games for Windows. People on PC were playing online multiplayer with Halo 1. Never heard of on original Xbox because didn't have online multiplayer. Halo 2 did, Halo 3 did. Halo 3 was 360. Halo 2 was the only Halo game on the Xbox, original black Xbox that had online play on the original hardware, not the Xbox One version or whatever, but the Xbox original black Xbox. So Microsoft really wanted to keep the PC in everybody's mind, even the back of their mind. But gaming rigs are exploding more because they're more cost effective now. I think Microsoft is literally sacrificing the Xbox to keep Windows going. Because you go out there and buy a gaming rig, you have the Xbox app, you already have the Game Pass. Once again, keyword Game Pass. You already have all the apps ready to go. So why are they not going to do that? It's simple for them. Okay. So, and Xbox still swears to not give up on consoles. Guys, eventually Microsoft will give up on consoles. Eventually they'll say, you know what? Take the towel, throw it in, and hope for the best. And we'll just we'll support our Xbox X S Plus 2 whatever nonsense console until, let's say, the last console is 2030. We'll keep it going until 2035 or whatever it is, or indefinitely keep it going until thing breaks or until Microsoft bursts into flames and is no more. But you'll still have your updates coming out for it, but you won't have any new consoles. Or they license the name out to other manufacturers, like what 3DO tried to do. Um, like a 3DO tried to do when it comes to their consoles. I mean, their console they were trying to make. Um, that right there is another thing too. People don't understand. No, because Microsoft is pairing with AMD, partnering with AMD for a reason. Microsoft ain't gonna no, and Microsoft ain't gonna let a multi-billion-dollar company like AMD go somewhere else, especially when they can make a console or something like a hybrid console PC that's gonna rip roar and keep Windows, once again, the word Windows, in everybody's mind. Because Windows is like 70%, and that's more than what Linux had. Linux had like maybe what, like 4%, maybe what, 5%. Yeah, Linux is like 4.6%, 4.8%. Mac OS is 5, iOS 28, and Android is like maybe 2 points, just 2 points above where Windows is. So I tell you, is Microsoft worried about digital consoles? No, not now. They could right now because they have what they need in Game Pass Ultimate, and here's why. Game Pass Ultimate came out in 2017. The cheap way to get people hooked into the infrastructure ecosystem of Microsoft, of Windows, of Xbox, of having continuous money coming towards them every month, $7.99, $8.99, $10.99, whatever, 99, coming in, trickling into them. And they go, thank you, thank you, thank you, and they take that money. Okay, what made Game Pass Ultimate, Game Pass fail was the fact that they took a lot of risk on companies with games. Like, say you create a new game, okay? Let's say you are uh, Capcom, and Dead Rising 4 had been out. Good game. It didn't sell very well. Critically claimed it wasn't the best Dead Rising game. 3 was pretty good. 2 and 1 were great. I never got into the older ones. 3 and 4 I got into. I loved 4. 4 was great. 3 was good. It was kind of weird, but whatever. The point being, guys, is this. Let's say they created Dead Rising 4. Brand new. And games like, oh, it's Dead Rising series. Put that on Game Pass. That would be a hot title. Capcom's like, hey, we want to sell, let's say, um, 500,000 copies of Dead Rising 4. Okay, we don't know. We're going to sell. We want to sell it. But we put it on Game Pass Ultimate. You, Microsoft, is getting the money, and we're not, because it's just your service that people are paying to play the game. Now, Microsoft says to you, Capcom, here, you want 500,000? We will front you $250,000 of copies sold of that game. Hypothetically, this is how it kind of works with Game Pass, somewhat. So you just made half of your goal budget of $250,000, because putting games on Game Pass Ultimate will hurt outside sales. Unless what do you want to buy? You'll buy it on Steam or CD Keys or go to the store. If you have Game Pass Ultimate, you don't have to do any of those things I mentioned. You just download it, click, play it, done. And off it goes back onto the archive of Game Pass Ultimate. You have no obligation to care about it anymore. Capcom does, because Dead Rising 4 came out years before, but I'm using hypothetical. So Game Pass like, Capcom's like, we already made $250,000 of copies sold by doing this with Game Pass. We could probably sell it, break even on Steam or CD Keys or even in the store, and get the rest of 50%. Or let's say they do 300,000, 400,000. Yeah, but here close to 80%, 90% already been paid for. Already been sold. You got a check from Microsoft saying, here is 80% of what you are trying to make. It's on Game Pass Microsoft is losing a shit ton of money on this situation because they only get, let's say, $9.99 a month for Game Pass Ultimate or $15 a month Game Pass. They're only making $15 a month. You just made over $300,000 off of estimated game sales by a company that's worth $1 trillion+. But Game Pass Ultimate is their bread and butter. Technically, it's what they wanted with the Game for Windows program to be back around the 2010 2012 mark. See what I'm saying, guys? Xbox ain't going anywhere. Consoles may soon die out, but Game Pass will be here because to them, Microsoft, it's what they wanted from the begin with. They wanted a Windows system that keeps the PC in everybody's front of their face. I need to get a PC to go play these games on Game Pass. The consoles are crap. That's just a piece of hardware. It's lights and clockwork. It's fun. Sony cannot do this. Sony will go belly up, gone, dust, be burning in hell for eternity because they would not be able to do the asinine move of making a service and have no consoles to do it. They can't do what Microsoft's doing. Microsoft has Windows and toaster Windows and shower damn TVs, kitchen appliances, damn freaking car, Tesla. You're driving down the road, your kid's playing that Xbox and a damn Tesla probably. It's all over the place because that's what Microsoft wanted to be everywhere. Where Sony is in the living room, good job, Sony. I'm gonna be everywhere, and that's what Microsoft has done. Now, what really damaging Microsoft is Black Ops 6 came out to Game Pass. They lost over $350 million on that one game alone. That one game cost them $350 million because they put it on Game Pass. Nobody bought the game like myself. I didn't go out and buy it. Oh, oh, it's okay. It's on Game Pass Ultimate. Click, click, click. Downloaded it, played it. It's great. Back to the arcade you go there. Game Pass there. Black Ops 6. That is what broke the back. And also what really made Microsoft like do like this, like this was when they gave blank checks book to Phil Spencer and his team, and they ran out there and started buying everything they could write down. But what made Microsoft go $69 billion for Activision, and you're seeing Microsoft go $69 billion. Activision, Call of Duty, World of Warcraft, Overwatch, some other stuff. They're worth $69 billion. How are we going to recur that? Because you have to understand, guys. Yes, Microsoft can go around. Microsoft can dance around and go play the cha-cha buying game where they can buy whatever they want when they want. They don't have to go out there, and polish their pennies like Nintendo and Sony has to. Microsoft can go, okay, Bethesda, we're giving you $10 billion. Cha-ching. BioWare, example, cha-ching. Activision, big one, cha-ching. So I'm saying. So that kind of hurt Game Pass in the end. The acquiring Activision and putting Call of Duty Black Ops Day 1 on Game Pass. They should have waited at least a day or two, but they couldn't wait any longer because they had to get it out there quickly. Because gamers are kind of a weird bunch of people. We will play a game. If we don't want to play it, we ain't going to play it anymore. Think about 2042. 2042 came on Game Pass. Why? Because it's been out for over a year or so, longer than a year now, and it was broken for about the first year of its existence. 2042, didn't hurt, didn't help the numbers. Why did Helldivers 2 sell almost 800,000 copies on Xbox? Because it wasn't on Game Pass. Xbox wanted on Game Pass so much they were almost ready to give Sony the damn freaking farm, but Sony said no, we don't want it. Why? Because they knew it was going to happen. They did it. It would kill everywhere else buying their game. So sometimes you give and take. Game Pass is a good system. Like I said last night. Is any titles, any companies, and God bless them all make tons of money. But Microsoft walked to the other side of the street, went to the dollar store, and bought some games, put it in their backpack cart, and went over and put it on Game Pass. Exactly what they did. If you don't like what I said about any games, I don't care. The fact of the matter is, go on right now. There's a lot of shovelware on there. Also, a lot of Ubisoft old games too that are fun to play. And if you haven't played Assassin's Creed 3, hey, bet on it. I got the game for Christmas about 10, 15 years ago. Superb game. I love it to death. But I'm not going to sit there and play it again. Now, I might play it again because it's on there. Because I don't really care about anything else on there right now. But it doesn't mean I'm not going to try games. But I think the biggest issue where people are thinking that Microsoft is dying because their consoles are bad since the Xbox One, and no one ever recovered from that VR nonsense. The unwillingness to really understand the market anymore. Microsoft is really worried about their Windows image and not worrying about the console design of it. Making a weaker S that's gimmicked, and PlayStation makes a version of their S. Hey, here with the boxing, the version of their S, the digital PlayStation 5, that's the same power as the original PS5, just has no disk drive. Microsoft gimps their consoles to make them weaker and cheaper. Sony go, okay, well, we'll just drop it down $100 or so, and that's it. Now, why above consoles given price? Because, like I said, there's certain chips that are created by certain chemicals, like a certain gas that's only available in certain companies, certain countries. It's like a mineral that you cannot find on planet Earth. It has to be manufactured. I don't know what it's called. Adam Couric, who I'm subscribed down below, is a great YouTuber. I started my YouTube career because of him. Because he's a great person. I talked to him a little bit. He gave me some talks and some insight about YouTube. So I'll never forget that. But there's two countries right now in war in Europe. Now, unless you've been on the rock for the last couple of years, there's two countries have this mineral or have a machinery that can create this chip chemical to make the chips that are used in PlayStation and Xboxes. That's the only thing really going on. And also the tariffs and issues around the world, as I mentioned earlier, with the earthquakes and famines and issues around the world. Domestic and other things going on. A lot of reasons why the world's going upside down. More just one thing, because it's never one thing. Okay. Now getting back on that again, off that topic. No, Xbox is not going to go anywhere. If they go out, they'll go out gracefully and probably keep the last Xbox on until the sun explodes and the whole Earth is vaporized by a red giant star. That's our star going to be a red giant in about 20 million years or whatever. So the whole planet being engulfed, by that point in time, worrying about an Xbox system is not going to be something I'm going to worry about at all if I'm alive 5 million years. Of course, we're not going to be. But if you do get out of the console market, they'll probably do their TV thing, where it'll be on monitors, it'll be on TVs, it'll be on dishwasher screens, it'll be whatever you want to put it on. And you can play it on your phone and play it on your watch, whatever, your Game Pass. Game Pass is what Microsoft wanted to have all along. Because to them, it symbolizes a way. Hey, what's up, man? It symbolizes to them their game with Windows everywhere thing that they wanted to do in 2010, 2012 that never took off. So Microsoft is not going to go anywhere with this. But they will get rid of consoles eventually, or make digital boxes from a third party. Hey, buddy. Um, but that right there is reason why I think people are jumping the gun. Dreamcast guy is freaking out about that a little bit, talking about how Microsoft's done, everything's done. Listen, Microsoft will be done when they get done. If they want to cancel consoles tomorrow, God bless them. Because they want to wait, hey, no, we'll make a new console in 2027. The PS5 Pro is selling somewhat better than it was. But console prices are going up because, chip issues and probably costs from other things as well. But people ain't buying the damn things right now. Now, the gaming rig is popular than ever. But that doesn't mean that you can't go out and go buy an Xbox, guy. Listen, if you go out there and you buy an Xbox X Series, don't listen to me. Oh my God, you bought no. You bought it because you wanted the experience. You bought an Xbox S Series 1 terabyte and bought a terabyte and extra terabyte slot, plug. Don't listen to these people. Oh my God, Xbox is going to die tomorrow. No, go out there and buy the system and enjoy it. Buy it for what it is, a gaming console for your benefit. Don't listen to talking heads tell you, "Oh my God, doom and gloom, paperwork in the air. Oh my God, we're going to lose our Xbox tomorrow." Yeah, well, a lot of them are getting rid of them because of the fact that they're protesting against the increased prices. I got a friend of mine who's assistant manager at the game at Sam's Club where I work at. I work at, but I don't work at Sam's Club. But I mean, where I go to buy my stuff, buy my groceries and stuff, my bulk stuff. He says, telling me that they're doing that because mostly they're protesting against the increased prices. Uh, Target the same way. The only one keeping them stuff, I think, is Best Buy and GameStop keeping it right at the same. But the Game Pass 20, the 1 month Game Pass prices are still, I think, at GameStop right now. I ain't checked today because I was doing other things. Uh, Yeah, Costco stopped selling them. They marked them down to like a little more than half off. So if you wanted a new Xbox, there, fellas, I would probably hit those two places if you can find one that has some in there, and hit it hard. And I thought maybe going to look on Samsung to try to find one if I can get one or not. Trying to see if I can find one for cheap because my Xbox X series back there, my Xbox One X is getting kind of old, so I don't mind getting an S or an X. Just put it there and the hell with it, have something new. Now I wouldn't mind doing a review on that, playing that for a while. But that's just me though, that's just how I think in my head. But I'm still testing the water to see if it goes down anymore. Because like I said though, I don't think Microsoft is going to get rid of the consoles. I think they're just increase the prices. These companies are boycotting. You know what? We're not selling this anymore because you guys are raising prices. It hurts our bottom line because we only get like let's say 20% of consoles, and they ain't moving anyway. The Xbox console guys are not moving. Let's be honest with ourselves. They're selling, but not very well. So, you want to buy one? Now it's time to buy one because hell, if it's going to sell for like half price or a little less than half price, go for it. Pick one up and go home with it and have a good time with it. But that being said, guys, Game Pass Ultimate is another situation at hand. It went up in price because they got to make money, guys. People, what was his name again? Dreamcast guy is freaking out, saying, "Oh my God, Game Pass Ultimate going up. Oh my God, they're going out of business." No, Game Pass Ultimate went up because they need a cost cut. They need to get more money in, more revenue in. We don't have when you have to get more revenue. And if you think, "Oh my God, we'll drop prices down to $10 a month," that may not help them. I think Microsoft is really trying anything they can to keep themselves relevant when it comes to Game Pass. And Game Pass is working if you look at it as it is. Now the discounts are gone. There's no more discounts. But then again, look at GameStop. They get rid of their discounts. They brought them back because the mass. People are pissed off. So maybe Microsoft go, you know what? We'll keep the prices they are, but we'll bring back the discounts for the whatnot. And guys, in closing, this video here about 40 minutes long. In closing, I am playing Black Ops 7. but I am playing Black Ops 7. This is my last bit video before I end this video. I did a video earlier, but I'm playing Black Ops 7 off of BattleNet because it's only like 50 megabytes, or I mean 50 gigabytes, compared to 144 on Steam. And Steam was being really weird with the game. So I'm like, you know what? Going down. I already downloaded the BattleNet. I played the hell out of it. I played zombies. It's a lot of fun. Um, I'm not good at zombies at all. I'm better at the multiplayer on the Black Ops games for some reason. Um, yeah, Black Ops 7. Um, I'm actually playing that beta right now. Not right now, but I've been playing it for a few hours. No, I'll give my full review tomorrow around this time, maybe a little later, a little earlier. Black Ops 7. Now I'm gonna go over the multiplayer, then the zombies, then my reasons why Black Call of Duty is pretty much suffering as it is. It'll probably be a 30-minute video, maybe 40-minute video, maybe even longer video. I'm trying to keep it. I'm gonna try to keep it Black Ops 7. There you go. Uh, I'll try to keep it, relegated to the visuals, any issues with tearing or functionality issues, not internet issues, not lagging in the sense that maybe it could be something that's on my end, but maybe something more on the game and the game's internal coding. And no, I know if weapons don't fire, if something doesn't work, or if scenery comes in and out, that's more of a graphical issue, probably with the game. So I'm trying to keep it very, 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 very close to not going off on the rails, saying it's this, that, and the other. I'm going to try to keep it very close. So it would be more like gameplay. Uh, will include movement, gunfire, and voice acting. How they are. Black Call of Duty has been pretty good voice acting. Then when it comes to the the other side, it'll be mostly be how's run walling and how's the run walling mechanics work. How they feel. They fluent gameplay, or are they kind of sloppy? So far, I'm not gonna say much about it, but it hasn't been bad for me technically. Um, um, is it insanity? No, but I'm gonna go over different things. I'm gonna go over also what I believe they should have done and would have done differently. Um, I'm gonna go over big detail about that. Yes, I'm gonna purchase a Battlefield 6 and play that and give my impressions of the game as I play it. Within probably a couple weeks after I start playing it, I'm gonna give my thoughts on how Battlefield is. But Black Ops 7 will be the first beta review I've done in years. After Black Ops 6 was last year. I didn't do Black Ops 6 last year because I was kind of irritated with it because it didn't work on the Xbox app as well as it should have. But that was digressed, with whatever. It's the first game they put on Xbox that was that kind of big anticipated game, so I can see the app not having issues with that. So yeah, I'll go over all that. I don't know. I'll go over everything that's with it. I'll go over customization. I'll go over what I feel customization is. I'll go over how I feel about how how the layout is, the maps, how to find things, how I feel it's clunky or not clunky. So I have an idea. You guys, if you guys do want to buy the game, you can buy it. But the beta closes up, I do believe, on the 8th or 9th. So you have less than 40 hours left to actually download and play it. And I would probably, if you have a PC, get it on BattleNet because it's a lot easier to download off BattleNet than on Steam. For some reason, it's 144, where on BattleNet it was like 54 or 55, whatever. So it could be why it's not as bad. But I'll do a whole review of that tomorrow of the multiplayer. Then zombies are going to be something different, where it's going to be how zombies feel, how they sound, how they run. Are they actually zombies or like really fast? Really fast. Just generic zombies. So far, it's been pretty decent. I think that's pretty cool. So I know it's very colorful, obviously, with the weapons you get sometimes. But like I said, guys, I'm just trying to save all of it for tomorrow. But yeah, so till tomorrow between 11 to 1 o'clock at night, because I'm fluctuating. Because I got things to do tomorrow. It might take longer to do or less to do. I got to help some friends and some job they're doing. So now I might be, an all, an all day, all nighter. So now, but just things I got to do tomorrow. It's Tuesday, so it's work Tuesday kind of thing, extra work Tuesday. So, like I said, though, it's something that I'll be doing. It'd be a good review. I'll give you my opinions and other opinions that I've talked to people about. I talked to a few people I talked to play the game with me online. A few of my friends have, and well, and I'll get their feedback too as well. So, guys, this is my video here. Hope you like my video. Once again, if you bought an Xbox, I wouldn't be bad about it. Just enjoy the thing, enjoy it for what it is. In closing, God bless you guys. We gotta be safe. Have a safe day. I'll see you guys tomorrow night. Peace out, everyone.